Welcome to Ace Designs 107, I'm Jason the Cartback, you're the kings and queens, and today what I for you guys is a Photoshop tutorial showing you how you can make this cool UI social media icon design. This is a very, it's a tutorial showing you how you can do different techniques making this effect, and you can make it look really nice if you put in the time and effort, but I wanted to try and make this one a little bit shorter because if I made a really long and in-depth tutorial yesterday, so yeah, I wanted a bit more less long, I guess. The difficulty for this tutorial will be, I guess, 3 out of 5 stars, and the duration will be 20 minutes. I hope that you do enjoy. If you haven't subscribed already, you should, because I upload daily content and it's not terrible content. And let me know in the comments section below what you thought of the video, because of last video, you guys did great. You gave me so much awesome feedback, and I'm so proud that I get to have an awesome community to talk to. So yeah, thank you so much for all the comments, and welcome to the desktop. This is where the magic happens. We're going to get straight into this tutorial by opening up Photoshop, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm recording. Oops. Sweet. Okay, so this is the effect that we'll be making if you haven't known already. My color selection for this was pretty poor, but that's alright. Okay, so we're going to go to File, New, and just make the width of this document 1920 by 1080p, because I want to make this a nice little, like a thumbnail, you could say. When I'm doing this tutorial, I'm just going to quickly change my foreground background color to white. Okay, so first of all, we need to make the backing. So I'm going to explain this really quickly. You can see that there's a backing here, then you can see there's a cutout, and then you can see that there's a square on top. So if you imagine it like a burger, it's really simple. You have the bun, which is the backing here, then you have the in-between, which is the patty, and then you have the top, which is the salad that makes it fresh, and then you have the bun that closes it. That's it. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into it by using this pattern, and there'll be a link in the description below called tutorial assets. This is where you can get this pattern from, and yeah, so if you just press Ctrl J on this pattern and move it a bunch of times using your arrow keys, and just to connect it, then press Ctrl E, then press Ctrl J, and this is how we're going to move it about. I don't usually like doing this, guys, showing you the way of doing effects repetitively. I usually like to show you shortcuts in Photoshop and the smart person, the wise way to do it, but unfortunately that's not always the case. You can define this as a pattern, I do know that, for your Photoshop Nazis out there, but I don't know, I just like doing this way. So we're just going to do it like this and use our arrow keys for precision. And this is perfectly fine, it doesn't take too long. And it duplicates like being in a power of 2. So you have 1, and then you have 2, and then you have 4. So it's a bit insane, if you know what I mean. Press Ctrl J, E, press Ctrl J, and as you can see, just the shape of it makes it like a jigsaw puzzle, so it's pretty easy to box in. And you can make the hexagons smaller or scale them up, but I wouldn't recommend scaling them up, because if you will lose the quality in the stock image. But again, you can it will be fine to downscale it for a more finer, but you'll be replicating more. So as you can see, this is how much replication we've done actually. It's a bit insane sometimes. So there we go. Now I might, just for the purpose, just do it like that. Okay, sweet. So now we've got our thing like this. Now for the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a dark, a really dark gray. So I'm just going to go up to here and do like 0E, 0E, 0E as my code, and then park it in there, and then press Ctrl I on these squares and I'll invert it to a white. And with the opacity of this one, I'm just going to change it to something like this. Now I can also go to File, Open, and apply a layer style to this. This is something that I haven't done before, but it just came into my head right now. So we're going to try that and see how this goes. Base layer style. Okay, it really doesn't have any effect, so we're just going to clear that, and again just go back to opacity and apply it. So there we go. Right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is use my shape tool to get our hexagons going. So change the sides to 6, go to the size of the stroke, do 6 pixels, and for the actual stroke itself we're going to pick a orange. Okay, so then I'm just going to hold shift and do my hexagon, something like this size. You don't want to make it too small because of like the steps can get very annoying and tedious if you make it very small. So there we go. I'm just going to center that hexagon and I'm going to press Ctrl J. But before I do that, sorry, I always forget this. We need to do a little bit of adjustments also. So with the pattern, I'm going to try and make it as neat as possible to my middle hexagon as it branches out. So something like this. So you can see the lines intersect with the lines and such on. So this means like it won't look off balance and everything like that. And I'm also going to press Ctrl T on this one and hold Alt Shift, Control Alt Shift, and just bring that one down in the size of it. So like something like this is going to look really nice, especially for our final one, because of it's just going to add that like type of geometry that we're really looking for. And just use your arrow keys to maneuver the actual pattern. So there we go. So now with our polygon, what we're going to do is add in the shadow. But before I do that, I'm going to save this as a PDF under my tutorial. Okay, Photoshop. There we go, and I'm just gonna save it in there. Alright, sweet. Okay, so to make it the actual stroke, I'm not liking the size. It needs to be 6 pixels. Alright, so finally, make a new layer. We're gonna press Ctrl J on this polygon, and we're gonna hide this. This is gonna be our backup copy. I'm also gonna group this and just gonna back up, and I'm gonna do the exact same for the other one. Drag that into there, but I'm also going to change the opacity to 100. Okay, sweet. Okay, so now with our backup folder done, with the polygon, what we have to do is right click and do rasterlize. This is why I've made a backup, so if I ever want to go back, I have the exact same size and everything. Alright, so then with our magic wand tool, we're just going to make a selection inside here. Make a new layer, and in this new layer, on this new layer, sorry. Not in it. Well, technically we're doing it in it, but whatever. Okay, so with the brush, we're going to change the size of to around 49 pixels or 50 pixels, just to make it round for you guys. Alright, and the color of the brush is going to be pitch black. So there, and we're just going to do a little shadow in and out like that. So there we've got that. I might do that a little bit again, making sure that that selection's in there, so we're just drawing within that selection on our new layer. Okay, sweet. So we can just use our eraser tool to go around the edges where we've done too much, and vice versa, so we can again select that selection on that polygon and make that brushes. Okay, sweet. So then we can merge these two together, so we get one final polygon, and just press Ctrl J and just keep on duplicating them. So something like this, and you want all the edges to connect. so we're going to have something like this. Now I could go for something symmetrical, or I could go for something abstract, and with a honeycomb design I'm going to do abstract, well, asymmetrical if you want to do it in like graphical terms. Now the reason for that is like if you break off like a a bee's nest or anything like that, if you're something malicious, okay, you never break off like a symmetrical piece, if you can imagine it like that. Like you always break off like a little chunk, and like all the little bee combs are within there. And yeah, so we're just gonna do this a couple of times until we're getting something going our way. And up here. Okay, so I think that's enough copies, and as I said, the more copies you do, the harder it gets for you in the future. So there we go, there is our honeycomb design, and we've got 14 copies, which is quite a lot, but that's okay. So now we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to go back to the exact same swatch that we used for this. Now fortunately I used just a color swatch in here. You can make your own and then define it to add a swatch so you can have the exact same color, or you can simply go to your foreground color and pick it up there. Okay, so then we are just going to just select one, select here, and as you can see it's gone like that, and that's all good. So then just press your wand tool, select your first layer, click once, press Ctrl Shift I, go back to your fill one and do that. So then we just repeat, and yeah, we just go layer by layer. That's really easy, nothing much to it else. Now sometimes I forget to do like a certain layer, like I would go from like 5 to 6, or no, from 5 to 7 or something like that. That's okay, you can always go back and find the square or the hexagon that you skipped. Like you'll probably see me skip one, and you'll be screaming through the window like, you fucking idiot, you missed it. But that's alright. I probably missed 9, I just guessed. Try it. No, I didn't. Okay. And you can see that it doesn't take extremely long, it's just repetitive. Yeah, I'm not going to cut the video because I want you guys to stay here, and if you want to skip ahead and miss my sexy voice, that is up to you. Now we missed, I think, 2. So you can easily identify it by just hiding and seeing the difference between the main one. And 5. Okay, we're missing this one. Okay, there we go. So just select that layer, bam, press Ctrl Shift I, and merge that into there. Okay, sweet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around on these edges and take away these little things, because of like these lines don't make it look like a professional design, so that's okay. So, and if you haven't noticed already, you can always add in more hexagons if you feel like it. I'll probably do that off screen just for my camera, just for the thumbnail. So I'm also going to merge all these together because that's all I need now. You can't move this stuff at all, and you can also merge that together. So you get something like this, and you just get like a really plain. Okay. So I'm just going to go around all these little edges. It shouldn't take too long with the pen tool. Probably use your paintbrush tool. Actually, that would be way quicker. But I like to use the pen tool. It's my babe. It's like a nerd's babe in graphics design, like seriously. Okay, here we go, here we go. Oh yeah, just thanks so much for all the support on my channel. Like, it's been amazing. that I've been given this opportunity to make tutorials. Not the fact that like I get like an audience. That's not the like the main thing that I'm happy about. It's just the fact that people will take their time to watch my videos. That's pretty incredible in itself. Like it's kind of weird, to be honest. Like, you make a video and you wouldn't normally expect someone to waste their time or give up their time to watch it, but in my case people do, and that's just something incredible to think about. And that's why I always do, like, I want to do daily uploads. Not always, but like I always want to do daily uploads because of I just want to keep on like showing my appreciation and just grow this channel as a whole. Not because of the fame, just because of I love doing it. So we're going to make selection, there we go, and press Ctrl Shift I to do an out selection. Go to your brush and just with your bucket tool and just fill in it a couple times, and then bam, all the lines have disappeared, and we can start to make in these little squares. So those aren't too hard. To do those, you just use your one tool, and we have to select some squares what we want to use. So I'm going to be using this one, make a new layer, fill this one in with a black. Just going to go here and fill that one in, okay, and do the same for the other squares. So something like this, and do the same for the other ones. Press Ctrl Shift I or whatever. You're not going to work with me? That's alright, Photoshop. You do what you want to do. Okay. Fill this one in. And I'm going to select one more square. You don't want to use all your squares, like you want to have empty ones, but... Okay, sweet. So now we've got our squares selected. We're just going to do like some layer styles to them. So we're going to select one square and go right click, go to blending options. Now for the color of the stroke, I'm going to do white, and it's going to be an inside, and the size of it's going to be 2. Now you can also like change, like find a different color, such as a red. Or something like that, but I'm not going to dig around with that. I'm just going to do white, and then I'm also going to do an inner glow from what I remember, and this one can be like a yellow. Stroke that, and just change down the opacity, something like that. Actually, I might change up the opacity. Contour. Something like that, nice. There we go. Okay, so then, just wait. You know what? I can just go here and just tell you guys what I used here. Because I kind of like nailed it that one. So here, I'm going to go to my blending options. Now I did a stroke of 2 pixels inside white standard here. Now with this color, I'll just change it to like a red, I guess. And I also did a drop shadow size 21, spread 10, and 100%. Yeah, something like that. That's just going to save me some time, guys. And then go to my copy layer style, shift click all these and do paste on those. Okay, sweet. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly try my stroke. I don't like the white, unfortunately. I think like that's a nice one. Okay, paste those on. Okay, sweet. Now I'm actually gonna edit this one here, and that looks like really nice in itself, something like that. Alright, so with these actual backing, I'm gonna do some lighting. So to do this, I'm gonna grab up my gradient. and just do like some settings like that, and just drag up. It's actually a problem with all these little things here. You can make a I guess the other way to do it is just go here, do like a size 1000 brush. Sorry, I'm making this up on the spot, like I mostly do with all my tutorials. I'm a guilt trip like that shit. Okay, so something like there, bam, bam, and then go to the opacity. Change it like that, and then go to filter, blushing blur, filter, blur, blushing blur. I'm just glushing that shit out. Alright, and I might do the same for like some really nice little dark areas. And go to my opacity, change this one down. I don't like the gray. It needs to be pitch black when you're doing black, like just like it's white. I'm messing around with the hardness. And opacity. Something like that. And I'm also gonna try render clouds. I'll just see how it works. I'm not too sure if it'll work or not, but we'll see. Go to my opacity. Yeah, it works, I guess. Something like that. Just a nice little texture, you could say, just to like spicing it up, add like a little bit of variety. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just add in some social media icons. So I'm going to go to my icon pack. If you want this icon pack that I'll be using, go down to the description below. You'll be able to find a link for my Selfie store, and this pack is like $1, so just go and buy that and you'll be set. You get all this shenanigans, I guess. Okay, so social icons, what am I going to do for you? I'm going to pick Twitter. Actually no, no, I don't think Playboy is appropriate. Okay, it's gonna be in here, and this stuff goes right above everything else. Okay, Twitter, let's do a Skype one. Let's do a Facebook. Select. Where are you? Google? Maybe? No. Let's do a Vimo, why not? Vimo's a pretty nice logo. Okay, Facebook, there you go. Okay, and I might pick Selfie as my last. Oh no. YouTube Play, perfect. Okay, so there we go. We've got all those, and you can merge all these together, I guess. Press Ctrl T and just resize. Actually, no, it's not necessary. So then with these, you can apply some lay styles. I might just try that. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, I also will try this white one. Just because I can. No, I think white's more appropriate. Okay, so then, there we go. And the Vimo comes down. Facebook goes across a little bit. Twitter's pretty good. Skype needs to go up. Okay, sweet. So then with all these, I'm going to right click and just go to one actually, go to here and then do an outer glow. Now the outer glow is going to be like something like this. So it's just like it's radiating off. You can also do a red outer glow, just to add some spice. I guess it's really up to you, but I think red is just a bit too excessive, so I'm going to do a white one. Change the size to something like this. I'm going to right click and do copy layer style. Paste all these onto here, and then bam, we have finished that. Now obviously you can get really creative with this one. You can like go here, go to black and white. You can make it black and white and just bring up like, do something like this, like some really crazy stuff with the colors. Like I guess like the color thing, and this is like the most important. Just because of like, if you don't have good color selection, like the effect can look absolutely trash, but if you have good color selection, it can look really nice. Like again, like you can go, if you chuck on like a CC, you can. I'll just quickly see if I have a CC pack. Where's my small? Come on, where are you when I need you? Just try these ones. One of these should have like a small CC pack. There we go. And just chuck on the CC pack and then try all these ones. See, that purple looks nice. This green looks nice. That red looks dope. Blue looks pretty good. No, gold doesn't work. Dull, no, sweet. That two-tone looks nice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the tutorial. Hopefully you learned some things. I actually went into a little bit of depth into this one because there's a lot of little diff aspects you could say about this one. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you should, because I upload daily content and you know I put a lot of time and effort into my videos. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, and peace.